Hi, good evening, good evening. Yes, sir. Once again, we are on Mike at Night. We are live. Glad to have you all with us. Good to have you. I hope you had a good day. I hope things been going great with you all, because today we're going to have a wonderful time as we look into the subject of relationships and so on. We want to always thank our sponsors of Rapid Response Security Services, DENS Electronics. We have also Double B Enterprises and Toast Cool Center. Yep. So let me say hello to Toes, one of the wonderful men who have always given us great support. This evening, we're going to talk about the stages of relationships. And I want, when we're dealing with it, for you to match up your own relationship or your past relationships and see where you fall in the fray. Because if you know which point in the relationship you are, you could know whether you need to be able to hold on some more. Yeah. It will be an interesting discussion. What I want you to do for me is to share the live. Call somebody and tell somebody that they need to listen on. It might be somebody who has a marital, a relationship problem, or it might be somebody whose relationship is going quite well, but they can gain something from this evening. We're looking forward to that. So make sure you share the live. Share it, share it, share it, share it, share it. The telephone number that you will have when we open up the telephone line is 387-7553. That is 387-7553. Look forward to being with you and to sharing this. I'm excited to share with you because I think people will get some real answers this evening. Of course, we've had real answers before, but you'll get some more real answers. Mike at Night. I'm Michael Stewart. Let's take a break.
In today's society, we need security that is trustworthy, reliable, and efficient. Rapid Response Security Services Limited is here to meet all your needs. Since 1990, this security company leads while others follow, with a commitment to provide satisfaction in service. We specialize in modern and professional security systems. Contact us at 639-3675 or 660-7418, or visit us at the Blue and White Building, Mount Mary, Scarborough, Tobago.
Double B Supermarket, 60 to 62 Government House Road, Scarborough, Tobago. All items reasonably priced, friendly staff. If you don't believe me, you call them 639-5329. If you ask them any question, they'll tell you Jesus is the answer.
Don't let the weather of the day dictate your pace. I stayed cool every time I got into my vehicle, and you can too. At Tow School Center of 31 Gaskin Bay Road, Bonaccord, they specialize in auto air conditioning with parts and services catering to your car's needs. Call and ask for tows at 660-8777 or 788-3535. Tow School Center, where a comfortable ride is a cool ride.
Mike at Night. Yep, we're always happy to have you to be with us. As we said, share the live, get somebody on to be with you so that you could gain from this evening's session. It's going to be a wonderful session. The telephone number as we open up the telephone lines is 387. You need to write it down and plug it into your cell phone and put it under Mike at Night. 387, that is it. If you are calling out of Trinidad and Tobago, you use the code 868-387-7553. Let me go that again. 868-387-7553. So we're talking about the various stages of relationships. One of the things that we have recognized is that there is relationships fail, relationships break down, relationships buckle under pressure. You find that the average person moves between 3, 4, 5. I've met people who have met as 20 relationships and they still haven't settled down yet. When you look at your life and you ask, how many relationships have you been in? How many relationships does someone need to be in before they can settle down to be able to have a partner that lasts? I think that one of the questions that we ask is, am I even designed for a relationship? Should I even be in a relationship? Probably I'm not made for a relationship. I want to say most times that is a false premise. I think most of us are made for relationships, but we may not know how to handle relationships. We may not be people who have learned the art of being in relationships. I don't want to profess myself to be an expert, but being married for 36, going on 37 years, I do think that I have a few things that I want to share with people concerning relationships and longevity. Every time you come out of a relationship to start a new one, you throw your life back by many years. Let me say that again. Every time you come out of a relationship to get into a new one, you throw your life back by many years. One, those years that you would have gained or would have been in this relationship, 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it is, while you may have learned some things in it and have gotten some experience, because you have not set down the sustainable aspects of your relationships in that period of time, you have to now start a new relationship all over again, and the learning curve for that relationship is something that you need to experience and go through, because every relationship you're going to need a learning curve to get to know the person, be in the relationship with the person, etc. So that's it. When people have to go through 5 and 6 relationships, it's not in your interest at all. It's not in your interest. It is really keeping your life back. There are people now 50, 60 years old and now looking to settle down in relationships. While there is nothing inherently wrong with that, I ask myself how productive that would be. Because relationships need so many years to be able to build and to come to a stage that when we have to do that in our old age, it makes no sense. So I want to help people today. And I want you to call in. I want you to message me. I want you to ask your questions, and make this a time that you get some answers for some of the things you're going through. I want to give you about 5 or 6 stages in that almost every relationship. Now, these are those people who have studied it, not me. The people who have made relationships a study have said and have brought up that these are the stages every single relationship goes through. That's what they claim. Stage number 1. They say in stage number 1, which is called the merge stage. The merge stage is also referred to as the romance phase. Everybody like this phase. This is the romance phase. This is the phase that you feel all gooey inside. This is the phase where you are teeming with the happy hormones, endorphins, oxytocin, dopamine, all of those hormones that make you feel good and make you feel happy, etc. That's the romance phase. It is a lovely phase that even if many times people are in a relationship and that phase loses its essence. Why do you think people go and flirt? They don't really want to leave the relationship they are in because they are in a solid relationship, but they flirt to feel back those happy hormones once more again. That's why it is important for relationships to keep those happy hormones bubbling inside of us. So that romance phase is there. But I want to tell you this. The romance phase is temporary. That is not going to last you straight into 70, 80 years old. No. Don't get yourself fooled with that. It is going to fade over a period of time. That's why you've got to make sure that your relationship is better grounded than in this romance. The reason why some people move from one relationship to the next is because they are trying to keep that excitement and that happy hormone. And once it is gone, this is what they interpret. I'm no longer in love with you because I don't feel this happy hormone. But that is temporary. It's not supposed to stay in your system. Your heart is not supposed to flutter every time you see the person or hear the person. You're not supposed to feel all this gooey every time. That's a heart condition. You should see a doctor if that is so. But anybody who understands relationship knows that that phase will fade. You heard me? I hope you did. So you have that phase where you're going to have that romance phase, and here's what it says, that magical moment that you're going to exist in. And I want people to remember these, because when I come back at the end and I ask you questions, I want you to tell me what are the phases. Yeah. And if you wish, I would really love to know if you have identified the phase that you are in. So the romance phase is usually in the early stages of when you meet somebody. You went to a function, you saw the person looked at you, and your eyes gazed at each other. Some people have some real romantic ways that they met each other, and people have given me some awesome romantic hookups that they had. The person calls you, the person asks you for their number, etc. Yes. Yeah. All of that takes place. It's not going to last. So wake up and smell the coffee. Don't hook your life on that. It is because of that that some people say, I think I love the person, but I'm no longer in love with the person, because that phase goes. All right. So we have that romance phase. Is where we become very sexy. In fact, sex is usually high. Yes. Sex is usually high on the agenda in such relationships. All right. Yes. Let me just message somebody who's yes. Sex is usually high on the agenda. Okay? And I want people to be able to explain these phases for me. Yeah. So it's not permanent. And what happens is that many times we really attracted in the romance phase because there are some opposites that we find about each other. You might find a quiet person watching that this confident, outgoing person and admire them. Oh, that person is so much the life of the party. I wish I was like that. In the romance phase, you might find that the outlandish person looks at this nice, quiet person and say, I like how that person quiet. The opposites attract them. And then they get into the relationship. You'll find out that after this relationship settles down, do you know what one of the first things people do is try to get rid of the same things they admired that brought them together? They don't like again. The quiet person says, I find you too loud. I find you just like to attract too much attention. And the people who are quiet, that you admired how they're quiet, they find they're very antisocial. And they don't like that. Yeah. So, yes, Pamela Martin, nice to have you on. Wonderful to have all of you people in. Great. Yeah. I'm seeing y'all. And thank you very much for joining us. Yes, Pamela, and we have a couple of people who are online. Yeah. As we said, call up somebody and tell them to join us. Tell them to be part of the session for us this evening. Wilma Hamlet, nice having you. Pleasant good evening to you. Lamini, the love bug. My phase name is Valentina. Okay. Good evening. I think I'm on the wrong show. You are? Why do you think so, Lamini? I wonder which show you were looking for. Yes. Okay. Jerome Andrews, good evening to you. All right. So phase number 1 of every relationship. Every time you get into a relationship, you start off with this romantic phase. Generally. Second phase, what we call the power struggle phase. Some psychologists call it the doubt and denial phase, the power struggle phase. This is the ticklish phase of it. Because you see, when the romantic phase is there, we like that. But when we start to settle down, remember we said how we admire the opposites of the person when we got into the relationship? When we get into the relationship deeper, what we want, we don't like the opposites of the person. So the girl was used to dress sexy, expose herself. She looking gorgeous. And as a guy, you like her. Oh, she's so charming. Real nice, beautiful legs. Look at her butt. Ah, look at those boobs. Nice, nice girl. He goes up to her, he charms her. Romance phase. And they hook up in a relationship. During the courtship and dating and all of that phase where they're going out, he's proud to have her. Show her off. Guys like the fact that he landed himself a nice, good looking, charming, beautiful woman. And they drool over her. Yeah. Let him settle down in the relationship now when the power story phase starts. Where you going with that? You looking for man? Yeah? Why you don't cover up yourself? The very thing that attracted him, he now begins to oppose. That's the power struggle stage. The power struggle stage is where the girl, like the fact that he's so friendly, he's so helpful to people. Oh, I like that about him. That attracted me to him. But then she settles down in the relationship with him. So why you have to go and do that? Why she can't get somebody else to do that for her? Why is it you have to be there for everybody? Why is it you have to be doing that and so? Why you can't stay home this time? Why? He's still the same nice, outgoing, helpful person. But you don't like it now. The power phase has kicked in. I wonder if you all feeling me up inside here. I wonder if you all understanding what I'm saying. If you all understanding what I'm saying, just give me a yes. Just give me a yes on the Facebook. Yes, I understand. If you do understand, because this phase is a crucial phase of the relationship. It happens not too long after the romance phase has expired. Because you see, people build the relationship on the romance phase, but they didn't recognize the power struggle phase. The doubt and denial phase is going to come in. Yeah, I see somebody say, that's my problem. That's my problem. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I'm telling you, you all need to share the live this evening because we're going deep into some stuff tonight. Mike, you admire a lot. You admire a lot. Who yes, Denison McIntyre. I admire a lot. I love to see lovely ladies, if that is what you're saying. Denison says that's so true. They show real saucy Lamini. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, somebody said yes, they could identify with what I'm saying. Good evening, Joan. Hey, Joan got up safely. Wonderful. Nice, Joan Philip Spear. Greetings from Virginia. Yes. All right. I'm seeing all of these. Yes, yes. Woo! Look at how many years they understand. We've been through something. All of us have been through it. That's my problem, says this person. Yes, I'm understanding. Yes, very much. Wow, wow. Good evening, Carette, Clark, Emma, Johnny, Alice, John, Joanne, Anne Marie, Cecil, Sandra, Ruby, all of you all, nicely. I'm happy that you're all getting it. So the power struggle phase, here's the power struggle phase, this doubt and denial phase, is that now you begin, before you were opposite, you admired the opposite, that during the romance phase, but you are very conscious of the opposite now in the power struggle phase. You say you don't want them to be like you, but technically you really want them to think like you. That's why you make the phrase, the statement, if it was me, I would never have. Why do you think you say that? Because you mean I would operate in this way and they should also. I would have never do this. I would have never do that. We struggle now. Our significance is in our differences, not in our similarities. If I and you are the same, one of us is unnecessary, and it's not me. I want you to know that. God never made two of the same things. So stop letting the other person be like us. They cook differently. Their food will taste different. They dress differently. They think different thoughts. They have different friends. Hello? You heard me? We are not the same. We shall never be. So stop trying to pigeonhole somebody into your hole so that the person will be like you. It is at this power struggle stage that we struggle to make somebody. You stay home, you don't like to go out, you don't want to see the person leaving to go out on a lime. You don't want to see the woman go and lime with her friends because you are a homeboy. You're a home girl. So where they're going? You see, allow people, allow people. But that's the power struggle phase. And during this phase, when we have all of these opposites going on here, when we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it's a terrible time. It's a terrible time. So, withdrawn, that's how some people start to get in this phase. They withdraw enthusiasm from the relationship. It's usually at this phase that they demand attention. I find you're not spending time with me. You don't notice me. Where you going? Yeah. We bring up things to contribute to the fires of struggle in this power struggle phase. Abandonment feelings come inside of here. And during that time that you think that you're wasting your time with this person, and you actually tell the person that I'm wasting my time with you, yes? We start to say some hurtful things during the power struggle phase. But hey, let me tell you, it's a necessary part of the struggle. But it's at this phase that we begin to start thinking, I might as well cut out here. And even if you do cut out and you start a new relationship, the cycle has started again. You'll go into the romance phase and you will hit power struggles phase again. Do you all follow me here? Do you feel me up inside of here? I hope you do. Dennis McIntyre. Yes, Mike, some wives want their husband to dress like them and that creates problems. Whoa. Okay. Hey. Good night, Carrie Ann. Nice to see you. Me. Oh, I think you need to give me an easier name to call, my then. She said boring. Yes, it is boring if the person is just like you. Because if the person they like the same movies you like, they like the same food you like, then you don't need the person. What is the person in your life for? Because there's nothing you could gain. The person they have the same opinion on things as you are. That's why allow somebody that you are with to have their own opinion. You can gain from the fact that they have a different opinion. But if they have to hold the same opinion that you hold, that's what Lamimi calls boring. We are all different, but we can be compatible. Gotcha. That's absolutely right. Hey, by the way, did I tell you the telephone number? Okay, 387. Yes, Pamela says she's logged in nicely. 387 7553. If you want to call in, if you call in from overseas, it is 868 387 7553. Edward Jones, good evening. Great program, he says. Thank you very much. Same thing, different face. Okay. So the power struggle phase is when divorce, separation, and so on start to germinate. You might not live in the power struggle phase, but that's where your frustration starts. And that's where you start seeing some things that you are going to regret. That's where you're going to start exhibiting your disgust with the person. This same person that you had on Facebook during the romance phase, this same person that you told everybody was the best thing that you ever came across in your life, and this person who had been so supportive, this same person is a person who you are constantly cussing and quarreling with and abusing and insulting in the relationship. What about the other not upkeeping themselves at all? Hello. All right. Emma says about she brought up a nice one. I hope Emma is a woman. If it is not, my apology. Emma says, "What about the person who not upkeeping themselves?" You know, I heard a gentleman said, "I don't get along with the woman that I live with, but I'm going to keep her because I'm not going back to the gym." What does he mean by that? He went to the gym, looked nice, flat stomach, big chest, to get a woman. Now that he has let himself go, he don't plan to go back to the gym, so he's going to keep the woman he has. What does that tell us? You know that many times is when people lose a relationship and looking that they go in and get themselves in shape. So what Emma was saying is absolutely correct. Joanne Matthew says one must not try to change a person to suit themselves. Yep, that's right. Edward said, not sure if I missed it, but are these phases common to all relationships? Yes, Edward, it is. We are just on phase 2. Stage 2. Stage 1 is that the relationship goes through this romance phase, happy hormones, endorphins, etc. If you've just joined us. Stage 2 is the stage of power struggle. Yes. In this phase, is where some people try to go their separate ways. Because there are some people can't handle stress. And they can't handle relationships that give in trouble. They can't get into issues because they're not in negotiation skills and so on. And they say, you see me, you go your way, I go my way. Then we separate and done. If you don't learn to adapt this phase, every time you get into a relationship and you come up to the power struggle phase, you will be back single again. That's one of the reasons why so many people are constantly single, because they've been in and out, because they cannot and have not trained themselves to get past the power struggle phase. That is a personal development help that they need. And that's where counselors come in. That's where people who do marriage counseling and relationship counseling come in to help push a person over that path where they keep struggling with to get past. But if you don't do it, you'll just be like a revolving door in a relationship, and then do like so many people say, like marriage and relationships is not for me because I can't find a relationship that would work for me, that settle down. It is because you need to develop. I want to suggest that strongly. Veronica Joseph, sometimes they want to run your life, how to talk, think. Yep, that's right. And once you start to want to manipulate a person's relationship, let me tell you, I understand what Veronica is talking about, that manipulation of wanting to run their life. I remember early in my marriage, I'm below the car repairing the vehicle, and my wife comes home. I slide from under the vehicle and I looked at her. The long, charming, nice hair that she had, she cut it. The first thing that came to my mind was, how can she cut her hair? And she didn't ask me. Yeah, I admit that. I said so. Because you see, I've had to learn over the years. I really had to learn over the years to let people just be themselves. She wanted to cut her hair, and she cut her hair. And here am I thinking, I should have been consulted. Why? I like long hair. I love to see a woman with long hair. So therefore, I took the prerogative that I make the executive decision as to whether she has long hair or not have long hair. Yeah, I've come a long way. You're right. And there are some guys out there who probably need to just back off a little bit and just let her be who she is. There's some women out there who just need to back off that man and just let him be who he is. Yeah. So having learned that, it hit me. after it, where I questioned the disrespect of having to cut her hair without asking me. I said, but I've gone to the barber many times and I never go to her and ask if I should go barber, if I should cut my hair. What makes it necessary for her to ask me to cut her hair? Let me tell you, to live in a relationship for a long time takes some effort, takes some growth, takes some adjustment, takes some giving up of a position that we have. All right, let me go back there and see what's going on. Are we due for a break? I think we might be due for a break, but let me just say, Leon Lewis said, my better keep that here on she head. Hope she not watching. Leon said he hope his wife keeps she here on she head and she here watching the show. Oh boy, well boy, you know, you could switch off the internet home by you. Let me say, she cut your hair? No, she didn't cut my. Actually, my wife cuts my hair, but she cut her hair. Let me see what is. Adrian said maybe she could have shared her desire with you, not for approval necessarily, but for the communication of her preference with your likeness in mind. That I think is a very wise thing. And that is why you see we share information as couples and as relationship. That is what is necessary. I say, listen, I'd like to go and cut my hair. Tell me how you think I will look in it, and just make it a discussion. But don't make it as a need of a stamp, but make it as a discussion. So I agree with Adrian seriously about that. Let me see now. Big up your wife, Annabella B. All right. Okay. All right. So I gave you how many? 2. All right. I think it's 6 of them I want to give. So let me give you a third one, and then we're going to go for the break. So we said that this power struggle stage is where the relationship goes into crisis and so on. Disillusionment phase or stage. This comes after the power struggle phase. After the power struggle phase reaches its peak. You see, here's where the fights take place. And sometimes the physical fights. We actually hit each other in the disillusionment phase. Here's the phase that you ask yourself, but I must be real stupid to marry this woman, boy. What did get into me to even see this man? That's the disillusionment that you tell yourself, I must be bounced my head. Yeah? He didn't know that when he was romancing and he was all up in his roti. Yeah? No, you're in this stage of the game. Yeah. So the disillusionment phase is where you have lots of fights, the arguments. You don't deal with each other. All the things that you ignored during the romance phase that you gave a blight to. Because during that phase, you saw how the person, let's say the woman, you saw how there were some suspicious women around. You saw how there were some things, but you always gave a reason and an excuse why all these women seem to be on his phone and liked him and called him all these times. And all. That's the disillusionment phase. We will always justify those things and say, well, I sure is nothing that going on there. When you're in the disillusionment phase, you are sure. Even though it is not real, whether or not it is real, you are sure. During that time, you knew that the girl don't like to cook. You know that she don't keep house well. You know that she has like to lie too much and so on. You know she has lie and so on. But you're in romance. Who cares? Let's just enjoy what we can because we're getting all we can, all the juice out of romance. But we pump through the power struggle stage, and this power struggle stage has now escalated to the disillusionment phase. I seem to have been deluded. Yeah. And also denuded. Yeah. At this phase is when we ask ourselves some serious questions. During the fights and all of that, we are not connected. It is when we are beginning to emotionally detach. You heard me right. You're beginning to emotionally detach. All right, so see your stage for real, Jerome. That's right. It is. It is. Joanne Matthew said, when they really see you for what you are, disillusionment phase. That's right. Well, because now the blinders are off. You see, during the romance phase, when all of the oxytocin and dopamine and endorphins flowing, what that does is mask reality for you. You see, it is like taking a painkiller. You are still subject to the same thing that is causing the pain, but you just don't feel it. So now that you in the romance phase, you're seeing what the person really happens to be, but you ignore it. You give a reason for it. The person was always late, you know. When you were caught in, the person was always picking you up late. And when they come in and they say, oh, listen, girl, I was running late. I was like, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I wasn't waiting long. Hey. When you're married to the person now, the person late still. They were always late. And now you can't stand them keeping you waiting. I'll think this thing easy. So the disillusionment, love does not seem real in this phase, right? So you're really on high alert for disagreement. The person comes home. Every time you meet or every time the person calls you, you expect this is our next quarrel again. Sometimes they ask you a simple question and you get yourself, because you're about to declare war. Yeah, you get yourself ready for it because everything is just so dicey at this time. Disillusionment phase. All right, so let me just take a couple and then they will take a quick break and come back. Let me just take a couple of what people are saying here now. Sandra Stewart says that, Sandra Stewart, I want to be related, boy. It would be nice to meet you. That's right, Brother Mike. I believe in what Brother Adrian said. That's right. Okay. Lisa David said, really now hit you. It really now hit you. That's right. It's in this stage it does hit you. Cecil Millington, see what really the cause when couples come to this phase of emotional detachment. Let me tell you, long before the person leave you, they have left you. Believe me. Leon Lewis says, so what can be done during emotional detachment? All right, I think I need to. All right, when we come back, Leon, I'll try to deal with that. I hope I remember. Glennis Jones, hi, how are you? Can a relationship be stuck in any one phase? The answer is yes. Some people are stuck in romance phase and they want to be in that romance phase and they don't want to come out of it at all. And as soon as the relationship needs to move on, let me tell you, there are some ladies need to move the relationship from courting and romance and so on to family life. Stop renting, buy a house to be able to start settle down with children and so on. And there are some guys still in that romance phase. And there are some ladies also would be stuck in the romance phase. They still want to dress up and go down the road and walk the catwalk. And the man wants to settle down with his finances to do things serious. But no, she wants to spend to show off to her friends because she's in this flowy stage. Yes, so some people could be stuck in it. If persons persist in through all the phases, does it mean there should be no divorces? If they do, there will be very little, if any, divorce at all. You are absolutely right, Glennis. But people don't have what it takes. Few people have what it takes to push to the point to go through all the phases to get that success in the relationship. It's the same thing like riches. Very few people could go through bankruptcy, go through some of the problems to go into a business that doesn't work, to hire workers that they're having trouble with, to be able to go through a number of things to get to the stage of being a millionaire. Yeah? Because most people will close up shop, their shop will close up before that. They'll say, see me, suffering too much, this business makes no sense. And they'll close down. But those people who have made it to millionaires, they know what it is to suffer. They know what it is to hold on. They know what it is to sacrifice and understand what discipline and delay is to get the benefits later on. But the people who like quick things, the quickies, quickie don't always work, you know. Quickie does mess you up sometimes. Hello. Anyway, don't let me go there. How is it going so far? And badam. Emma, thank you very much. That's why I conduct interviews. 10 years resume required. Yeah. When you get into a relationship, ask to find out what the person's dreams are. Excellent info, Brother Mike. Nice topic. Thank you very much, Joanne. Veronica, I think reality comes in because all the time you're hiding, but for how long? Okay. All right. We did 3 of the phases. When we come back, I'm going to ask people to start posting the 3 phases we've done so far on the Facebook. When we come back, we're going to take your calls, we're going to take your WhatsApp, and we take it from there. Let's pay some bills.
In today's society, we need security that is trustworthy, reliable, and efficient. Rapid Response Security Services Limited is here to meet all your needs. Since 1990, this security company leads while others follow, with a commitment to provide satisfaction in service. We specialize in modern and professional security systems. Contact us at 639-3675 or 660-7418 or visit us at the Blue and White Building, Mount Mary, Scarborough, Tobago.
Double B Supermarket, 60 to 62 Government House Road, Scarborough, Tobago. All items reasonably priced, friendly staff. If you don't believe me, you call them 639-5329. If you ask them any question, they'll tell you Jesus is the answer.
Don't let the weather of the day dictate your pace. I stayed cool every time I got into my vehicle, and you can too. At Tow School Center of 31 Gaskin Bay Road, Bonaccord, they specialize in auto air conditioning with parts and services catering to your car's needs. Call and ask for tows at 660-8777 or 788-3535. Tow School Center, where a comfortable ride is a cool ride.
All right, welcome back. This is Mike at Nite. Share the lives. Ask somebody to come on because it's going to help them. It's going to be a wonderful support to people. We talk about relationships and we talk about the various phases of relationship that every relationship must go through. And we got to learn to stick it out and go through it. Joan Pierre was in Tobago recently with her wonderful husband, Joe, and we started to talk about relationships that give you longevity. And, some very interesting discussions came out of that, even though we were just standing up, just blagging. There are some very interesting talks that came out of there. And sometimes I think we need to be able to share some of these things with the young people and some people who are going through all of the relationship struggles that they're going through. All right, so let me see here now. Who do we have here? All right. I think somebody was telling me that the reason I had a problem is because she didn't share that she was going to cut her hair. I think the person talking about my wife. And she was saying African woman hair sometimes get in the way in maintenance. And this is a person from Canada. Thank you very much. All the way from Canada. We appreciate you being on. Right. Okay, so let me go back now. All right, so let's go now. I see Candice remembers the various areas we've dealt so far. Merge or romance. That's right. Doubt or denial, which that is the power struggle stage. And then we did the disillusionment phase. I hope people are putting themselves into which phase they are in at this point in time. All right. Let me see if I could find Leon Lewis. So what can be done during emotional detachment? You see, we feel emotionally vested in the person that we are in. Emotional means that we can feel for them and we feel with them. For them is that we emotionally we feel as though we got to have the person in our space. You see, this is the thing that makes the person that you're with different from somebody else. You like to be in the company of others, but the person that you're emotionally attached to, you want them in your space. This is why there are certain personal unmarked space all of us have, that we can be able to lean against somebody, hug somebody. Those are space that we allowed people to intrude, to come close to us. But if this person is a stranger, we will not allow a stranger to come and lean on us and to come and give us such closeness and so on. And we don't share emotional things with them and emotional feelings with a stranger, but we do it with somebody that we are in a romantic relationship with and in a love relationship with. But over a period of time, and I was talking about the not only emotional for, but emotional with, in that there are times that you're going through some rough times, and somebody who you are emotionally connected with is a person who will feel your pain. They will also understand the struggles that you go through. That person who has emotional connection would also laugh with you. They also share your joys. And those are special people. But when there is emotional detachment is that when it is possible for somebody to be in a relationship with somebody. The person is crying their eyes out. The person is hurting, and the other person feels nothing. The other person just couldn't care less. In fact, they'll stoop and walk out. They'll even say, "You crying again?" They are completely detached. You could go through a relationship with such struggle that the relationship struggles so much that you don't even feel connected to the person who had been treating you with such disdain. So what do you do to get back emotionally, to correct emotional detachment? I think that is what Leon Lewis is asking for. What do you do? Well, what created the emotional attachment is likability. Likability. When you like somebody, you eventually become attached to the person. And this emotional attachment doesn't even need lovers. You could have two good friends from school have such strong likability that they feel for each other. They feel the pain with each other. And this is not a love relationship, mind you, I'm saying. That there are some people that they are so close that even when they are down, they can detect that they are down without the person telling them. They are so emotionally connected. And that likability has to come from the amount of precious, special time you spend with that person. You can't get emotionally attached to somebody that you're not spending time with. How can you love God if you don't spend time with God? How can you love somebody and you don't have enough time to spend with them? You know how children spend or spell love? They don't spell it Love, They spell it Time. That's how children spell love. So somebody who doesn't have time for them, they conclude this person doesn't love me. And so does our relationship. We can't be so busy in this relationship to build a house for our family that we lost the home. What do they come home to? Walls. But the warmth of the home is missing. No. That can't be. And that's why we need to reassess it. Okay, nice having you all. Let me just see. I hope I answered that question. So it's really spending time, and we just had some long holidays there for the Easter. I wonder how many people did something with their family. Play games, went somewhere, spend a little time watching television together, do so many things so that you could just enjoy and appreciate. The more time you spend with each other. Let me tell you, if you are in a class and you sit down next to somebody in that class for a year of studying, always sitting down next to the person, talking with the person, connecting with the person. Do you know it is possible for you to eventually fall in love with the person when at first you never even was attracted to the person? Proximity and time are two things that help create a bond between two people. Trust me on that. Glennis, oh no, I think I asked that. I had scrolled up to ask to find out about what's his name. Yes, Kerry, what you put in is what you will get in return. Emma says that is true. The classmate situation. Emma, you get catch. Oh God, of course. You know, in school, you check how many people get a little puppy love in school. Just because they spend so much time in a classroom with somebody and the person is in a bench or very close to them and so on. That time and proximity usually, and this is why relationships, when somebody moves and lives in the next country, sometimes the relationship fades, proximity is removed. You really have to work twice as hard to keep that relationship when the person is no longer in proximity. I'm in phase single and loving the idea that I can go out with whoever I choose, no strings, especially my heart attached. I'm in the adolescent stage of life. Yeah, trust me, enjoy it now, eh? Enjoy it now, because later on you're going to tell yourself, me now I want this single thing now. Singleness is nice, and that is why we should enjoy it all we can. I don't believe that was love in the first place. Okay, I'm not sure what Sandra referring to. All right, Joanne was able to tell me romance phase, power struggle phase, disillusionment phase. Thank you very much. All right. So you all are listening. Wonderful. Great. How long does these stages last? Ooh. Well, we can't determine that a phase is going to last the length of time for everybody. It also determines of how often you are seeing the person. One person may be in Tobago, the next person might be in Trinidad. One person may be in a Caribbean island, the next person may be here. One person live in the country, next one live in the town. It is going to have different time span as to how long romance is going to last and how nice those two people have been together with each other. Some people live in the romance phase quite long because they are two nice, charming people and they get along well. And then later on, they are going to hit the power struggle phase. Okay, so let's see who's on the line. Hello. Hello. I wonder if I get in there. Okay, could I ask that person to call back, please? I don't know why I lost you. Yeah, try and call back. We would love to hear from you. All right. She said I'm good. Too many people in my life. Lamini, I need to sit down with you. Yes. So anyway, I was talking about that. This phase lasts different lengths of time. Each person is unique, and so you just need, what you try to do is let each phase, the first phase, romance phase, to last as long as possible, and let the power struggle phase last as short as possible. So we're going on to phase number 4. Phase number 4, decision phase. You see, because you've gone through the phase of power struggle. Hello. Just hold on there. Hold on. Let me make sure that, I think it might be on our side of the issue. So just keep talking so that I can hear you. You there? No, man, I think the person keeps cutting off. It might not be my issue. Yeah. I think that person keeps cutting off. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me just do these 3 and then we're going to get back. The decision making phase. This is where, after you've gone through the power struggle phase and the disillusionment, where you tell yourself, I did something stupid. I should never have picked up with this person. I don't know what got into my head. I must have been drunk at the time. And then you go into the decision making phase. Decision making is that you're about to make a drastic decision. You're about to do something about all the mess that you've in. This is a phase you've got to go through very, very carefully. Why? Because if you don't go through this phase properly, you may very well make some very hurtful decisions in your life. Hello. I know that is not me doing that, because every time the phone keeps cutting off as soon as it picks up. So that is not me. You're about to make a very serious decision. It is during this phase that you're at the point of emotional breakdown. Can you all feel me? You all understand what I'm saying? At this phase, you feel as though you are exasperated. You could pull your hair out. You are so frustrated with the relationship. You don't know what to do because you have children, you have things to consider, you have mortgage to consider, you have image to consider, all of these things. But you really tell yourself, no, 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 no. My sanity is about to go. According to my mother, I'm about to lose my religion. Yeah. So you're about to make a decision and you're asking yourself what to do. Whoa, I just saw the time. 10 o'clock. So you're about to make a decision as to what to do. So we speed things up. And that is the decision stage where you need to make sure, am I leaving? Am I going to divorce? Am I going to put the person out? Whatever it is. And then you have the stability phase. The stability phase is that once you pass that struggle, decision making and so on, you accept the person. This is where you start to settle down now, because they tell us, I'll stay. I'll work with the person. The person has some issues, but I could live with the rest. We could work on these here. And at this stage here is where you tell yourself you are at the stability phase. It takes years to meet to this phase, mind you, people. This one is really going to take years. This doesn't come overnight. You've got to pass through all the phases first to get to stability phase, where you accept the person, you share experiences with each other, and then you go on to the stage of what we call commitment phase. You know the reason why your grandparents stayed together? It isn't because they were perfect people. Your grandmother wasn't married to a perfect grandfather, neither your grandfather to a perfect grandmother, but they were in commitment phase. They were committed to the relationship. They were committed to the institution of marriage. And they understood that. And they did that in order so that the children would be stable. They did that so that the children also would be able to enjoy stability in a relationship, in a home, so that they'll also set an example for children, so that they'll also endure in relationships and live in relationships long. They did that for us. Yes. But you've got to develop yourself to get to the stage. I don't know whether they did the poll or they put up the poll. We're down to 10 o'clock. I know that we had a nice run. If you enjoyed the program, I want you to just type in there, enjoy tonight. I enjoy tonight. Yeah. Let me see that. Yes. Hello. 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 I don't know why I'm not getting the telephone. Are you hearing me?
Good night.
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
I really late to the program, but I love the topic that you are discussing.
Nice, thank you.
Right, and I just want to say something that when me and my wife were dating, like we just dating, I wasn't met her yet. She wanted to make a decision, and that decision was whether to cut her hair or not. So we were dating at the time, and I never thought that she would have considered to ask me for, if you think I should cut it or not to cut it. And I'm like, I was stunned. I was stumbling in the answer.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, if you want to cut it, you can cut it. You have to ask me. But we were in a relationship, so she considered me
Mm-hmm.
to ask me and not just ask some stranger. She
Right.
said,
Yes.
do you want to do should I come my way? And I was like, well, okay, everybody makes you look okay. You know, if you're comfortable with it, go ahead.
Right. Yes.
So,
Yes.
in relationship that your partner considers you in those kind of decisions, I think that's cut in our hair. You know that when the real big decisions come, then she will need you to make the bigger decisions.
Yes. Yes.
You
Yes.
know, we are husband and wife, and everything we do is babe, what do you think? What do you
Mm-hmm.
think about this? What do you think about that?
Yeah. I
You
think
know,
it
so
is.
I love this topic.
Yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good. All right. So what he's saying is that, you know, he admired the fact that his girlfriend or wife at the time said that asked his opinion on it. And that's nice. That's nice. Oh yeah, I enjoyed tonight. So many people saying they enjoyed tonight. Wonderful. Happy that you did. Wonderful. So we're gonna have more of this. We're gonna have more that we're gonna train you. I don't know whether they put up the poll, but I think the poll should have asked if you think if people got good counseling, whether marriages would have last longer and relationships would last longer. If they didn't, well, that was it. And we're going to come back with more of it. If you are also looking for counseling, because you know some people ask, and you know, I need somebody to help me through, because you need somebody to help you through those power struggles phases, disillusionment phase, etc. That phase of doubt and denial. So you could give us a call, and you can call the office at 635-1801 anytime. 635-1801 and make your appointment for us to meet, and let's help you through some of the struggles that you're going through. You don't have to be going in and out of relationships like a revolving door. And if you think that you have not been very lucky with relationships, you could turn that around. Give me a call, 635-1801. Ask for Michael Stewart. This is Mike at Night, and it has been a pleasure having to be with you. And I want to thank Leon and Lewis for doing such a marvelous job behind the console. The phases of relationship. Oh yes, Anne Marie is now leaving you with the phases of relationship: romance, power struggle, disillusion, decision, stability, and commitment. You got them all right, Anne Marie. Thank you very much. Will there be a part 2? Okay. I guess if we want a part 2, we could come with a part 2. Yeah. Not the wigs. All right. Yes. So we will have another session of it. Thank you all very much. God bless you all. This is Mike at Night, and thank you to our sponsors. Toes, boy, I tell you, thank you very much for making this program possible. Rapid Response Security Services, awesome set of people. If you're looking for good security, people who are dedicated to what they do, Rapid Response is the place to go. And Double B Supermarket in Government House Road, boss. They give you good service and they give you reasonable prices. Thank you very much. Mike at Night. Be out of here. Bye now.
In today's society, we need security that is trustworthy, reliable, and efficient. Rapid Response Security Services Limited is here to meet all your needs. Since 1990, this security company leads while others follow, with a commitment to provide satisfaction in service. We specialize in modern and professional security systems. Contact us at 639-3675 or 660-7418, or visit us at the Blue and White Building, Mount Mary, Scarborough, Tobago.
Double B Supermarket, 60 to 62 Government House Road, Scarborough, Tobago. All items reasonably priced, friendly staff. If you don't believe me, you call them, 639-5329. If you ask them any question, they'll tell you. Jesus is the answer.
Don't let the weather of the day dictate your pace. I stayed cool every time I got into my vehicle, and you can too. At Tow School Center of 31 Gaskin Bay Road, Bonaccord, they specialize in auto air conditioning with parts and services catering to your car's needs. Call and ask for tows at 660-8777 or 788-3535. Tow School Center, where a comfortable ride is a cool ride.